Benny Barton, the laziest worker here at Eagle Farm.
So given we are talking about the Antino effect leading up towards the Cox Plate, can you tell us the backstory behind Antino? I understand he was actually quite a bargain purchase in retrospect.
Yeah, look, I wasn't really involved much in the buying of him. It was during COVID. I believe his owner was home in Hong Kong and they're ready to run in New Zealand, and he started bidding at a quite a lowly figure on the computer and just kept going till he got him, really. I think he paid 27 grand or something.
Gosh, you're cheering now.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we weren't sort of involved in the process. Danny was with another trainer then at the start, won a maiden at Sunny Coast, went for a break and found his way to our stable, and I guess the rest is history.
Antino's gallop going 5.32 lead out. He'll also head down on Friday. He'll trial at Cranbourne on Monday the 18th, and he'll go to the Mems and Stacks of Corporate on the 30th.
So with a horse like Antino, at this stage of his preparation and just before he travels, what are you looking for in his work?
I feel like I'm pretty well ahead with him, to be honest, because he had that winter residual fitness and plus out to 2000 this time. I think I'm ahead with him. His work, he hasn't worked in company, it's his first bit of work in company. Everything he's done a bit on his own, but he looks to be doing it really easy, and all the data back off his gallops shows he's pretty well ahead. So today it's just about watching him just be competitive with another horse again. So he's also mixed around a lot. I sometimes lead him out, sometimes sit him off in gallops. I never really do the same thing all the time with him. So today with the work mate he's got, he'll lead out and roll out in front in the work, and then the mate will get up to him, probably around the 300, and they'll work up home together.
So I'm going to lead out Benny.
You're going to lead?
Yeah. We'll go 5.32. He just said just sit off me a little bit so that horse doesn't get keen, and then I'm not doing too much. And then we'll just run up 25 and just join me at like 300.
Okay.
Yeah. And that will be our work.
So just want to see him, he just wants to keep his head in front normally in this sort of work, and just watch his action and just make sure he flows through. Hear any regulars and breathings coming past here, then get his feedback from Bailey as to where he thinks he's at fitness-wise, because so far doing everything on his own, he feels like he's ahead of where we've had him, ahead of where we had him this time last year anyway.
You mentioned that residual fitness from the winter. You only opted to give him a short and rather active spell.
Yeah.
Could you describe to us exactly what that means and how it benefits a horse such as Antino?
I think it's pretty common for most winter horses, if you're going to start off, at this stage of the spring, they will have pretty short breaks. So he only had, I think, 3 weeks off and then a couple of weeks sort of just ticking over, but from the paddock. So we did the same thing when we got him back from Hong Kong, to be honest. He did most of his spell was boxed and quarantined. And then when he got back to Edinburgh, he had 2 weeks rest, then his pre-training was done out of the paddock. So just gives him a bit more, not boxing them up so much, And his fitness come back, he's put on good weight, but his fitness is really good.
Yeah.
He's a bit woolly. He's a little bit wintry. His coat's starting to improve. Like once he has the float trip down, I think, and he has his jump out at Cranbourne, which is the 18th of August, he'll really come on. So he's really only got this gallop this week, trip over the weekend, probably just some bowling work end of the week when he gets there, trial and one more gallop. So because we float down, we're not flying down.
Yeah.
Get down early enough. This piece of work, this one, and then probably the Tuesday before the Mems, probably his 2 real bits of gallop work he's got to do outside of his trial.
And like you said, he's first up in the Memsy. You're following a rather similar plan to like last spring?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and just off just the one jump out or trial as well, which we did that going into the autumn too. Seems to, hold him in good enough stead. It'll be a different preparation than what we had last year. Obviously, we focused heavily on the Turak. It's a good kick-off point. We can move and change in our prep if we want to. If we want to change it around a little bit, but at the moment, I'm pretty keen on going 2 weeks to the Mackay, which would be definitely second up run, and then 3 weeks to the Turnbull, 3 weeks to the Cox Plate.
He's a very versatile horse. He enjoys leading out or sitting off. It doesn't really affect him. So leading out today is our own sort of work, and Benny will join us at the 300 metre mark, and we'll work up together.
The Brisbane Winter Carnival's become a really solid launch pad as we look towards the spring. I suppose we only have to look back to Bella Nipotina, ninth choice last preparation. Must fill you with a lot of confidence with a horse like Antino off the back of his Hollandale and Doomben Cup win heading into the Spring Carnival.
Yeah, I think training here, I think Brisbane Winter Carnival's always been a good launch pad for horses from down south. I mean, they can stay, sort of fit, have good climate, good weather on their back, and it's that quicker turnaround into the spring. I think it really suits lots of horses, So yeah, I don't think people have been doing it forever, coming here for the winter. I think now the tracks up here are quite good, for a carnival, etc. We'll see more and more of it.
Yeah, we'll run up too quick. Yeah, it's pretty good, but we're pretty spot on. I thought, enjoyed that, didn't you, bud? Thank you.
I actually remember last autumn you said you weren't quite sure where this horse's ceiling was, and now looking at that, he's gone on to win 2 Group 1s. He must be an exciting addition to the stable.
Yeah, he is. He's always been a nice horse. He when I first got him, I remember vividly, he didn't give you much of a feel in track work. He only ever does what he has to do, which you can put him with any horses you've just seen track work here today. So he's a funny horse in that regard. He always just does enough. I think he's been quite an evolving horse too, with his racing pattern and style over the time. He was at Redwood, he's a very mature horse when he came, and I think as he's developed and matured, he's got a few idiosyncrasies about him. He's very sort of like a gawky horse. He spots everything. He's got a graft in one eye from when he was obviously a younger horse. I'd imagine a foal or a weanling.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that's the reason why his vision is quite funny at different times. So I think as he's gotten older and mature, he's developed a very unique racing style now, which you're all accustomed to. But training him as he's become an older, stronger horse, he really enjoys. We've increased his workload, particularly to get him out to the 2000.
Yeah, as you said, those idiosyncrasies really is what made Antino's story so remarkable. Look at those rides that Blake Shin has had to undertake to get these results. That bond between horse and rider from both Blake and regular rider Bailey must be so important when it comes to training a horse like this.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So we've been speaking to Blake prior to the tour a few runs earlier that he can sustain quite a long run. I see him do it one day. Jimmy Orman won just a low-grade benchmark on him. He sustained this massive long run, which I probably never had a horse that could do that. And I see with his work and his recoveries just how big a motor he has got. So when he did that Toorak day, I thought it wasn't the plan to do it, but it just eventuated, and Blake just was remembering what I'd been saying for some time, that he can sustain a run if you have to ask for a really big effort. And when he actually asked him for that effort, I was actually very confident in that moment of it occurring. So I just felt that he always had that in him, the horse. And I guess now, as we've seen since that day forth, when ridden in that manner, he really is very hard to beat.
He's certainly electric.
Yeah, no, it's just a unique pattern where he likes to get moving a bit earlier in his races, even if he has to cover ground. He likes to put the pressure on a bit earlier. And like as I said, as a mature horse, a bit older now, we've been able to increase his work. He's loved it. He looks better and better each prep for doing it. And his relationship with Bailey, obviously, rides him every day, travels him away, has become really important. And then Blake on race day. So it's a really good little team, and hopefully it stays together all spring. There's no issues with suspensions, etc. and we're going to have a great spring with him.